Good morning and welcome to Time Out Thursday's Positive Daily Zoom Boom. I'm Krissy Regan, your host, and I'm the founder of Mindful Mums Queensland. I'm an author, a poet, a project manager, an international speaker, and a mum of two small lioness cubs. And sometimes they join me for this Zoom Boom, so don't be surprised if we have some guests a little bit later. So for today's Zoom Boom, what I wanted to talk about and to share with you is some insights I have gained about joy, J-O-Y, joy, and my little idea of remembering joy and reminding myself what it means is to just open yourself. That's the way that I think about joy. And joy is a heartfelt emotion. And so when you think about joy, you feel warmth in your heart. And when I started doing a bit more research about joy and why it was so important and why it's become much more of a popular buzzword at the moment, I really wanted to understand the root of it and how I could apply it to my life and to indeed what benefit there was to having a focus on joy. Now, many of us have had to stop activities at the moment that would by their very nature bring us happiness and fun and fulfillment, etc. You know, this weekend I should have been at a wedding in Italy, but instead I'm at home. And you know, the wedding would have been fun and it would have brought a lot of happiness to all of us. But what it's allowed me to do, spending more time at home, is to focus more on my innate joy. Because each of us have the capacity within ourselves to feel joy, because happiness is generally driven by external events, whereas joy is an innate thing that's inside of each of us. And we can foster it and we can care for it and we can help it grow and we can spread it and share it and all of these things. And you can reach down inside yourself and find joy. And in a non-biblical sense, you know, the joy that has been talked about for thousands of years is really just that innate happiness and that innate sense of presence and connectedness that we all can have as humans. And so I thought, you know, what are the main things that I find joyous and what brings me joy? And to start with, I wrote down my own definition of joy. And I wrote down, what does joy mean for me? And what do I feel when I feel joyous? And where does it come from? And how can I embrace it? And then I started reading a lot about joy. So I typed joy into my browser, whether I was on my phone or on my computer. And I read different articles about joy. And I read the difference between joy and happiness. And I read, you know, where joy comes from and what are the elements of joy that we can reach for when we're having difficult days or challenges in our life. And it's the way that joy is expressed is through very eye-opening ways when you start to really go deeply into the research of it. And then I started meditating on joy. And there are many free meditations on YouTube that have a focus on joy. And some of them are quite short and some of them are longer. So you too can explore those for yourself. And then often I would find myself either sitting or walking in nature and just really connecting with other living things around me. And when I did that, I started to feel a deeper sense of connection, which then builds your internal contentment and peace within you. And then when I noticed things or I started to find things more regularly that brought me joy, I acknowledged them and I thanked the universe for bringing that joyous moment into my life. So that was really an eye-opening shift for me, because I was actively looking to be mindful of when joy appeared, both from the in part of how I was perceiving my experience or what I was going to be doing. Thank you. Sorry, somebody needed to ask me something. Okay, so when you notice something that you find joyful or you feel true joy, acknowledging it and thanking it for being in your life is a really precious thing to do. And then what I tend to do is connect to my breath several times throughout the day. And then I look outside and I appreciate the joy of just being alive. And, that's something that, people can't take away from you easily, because it's a very simple pleasure. And the main thing that I have adopted in my life really has to be when a person makes me feel joy, or when I have a joyous moment in my life, I share it with the other person as soon as possible. And I explain it in detail as to how it made me feel, what emotions it brings up, what sense of peace and presence that joyous moment has given me, and the impact on myself, as well as the person that I'm sharing it with. And it could be my children or a good friend. Is two ways, because when you express something in words, it actually then goes into your DNA. So you can reach for that whenever you need to. And the other person has a sense of the feeling and joy as well. So it encourages them to look inside and find their joy, and to notice and appreciate joy. So it's quite a simple message, but when you start to develop this kind of deeper connection with your joy, it allows you to have a deeper connection to the world around you. And if we radiate joy from our heart, it sends out a frequency within 3 feet of our body. So even at this time, radiating joy from your heart will impact anyone within a 3 feet radius of you. And that's very special, because whilst social isolation 1.5 meters is a little bit further than 3 feet, if we are consistently doing this on a regular basis, you can imagine the amount of people that you're going to start impacting when you go back to normalcy and you're moving around work or your home or the city or on and off public transport. Radiating joy from your heart will impact many, many people. So I really just wanted to encourage you to think about joy. Just open yourself and to acknowledge what joy means for you, to research it if your relationship with joy has become a little bit strained, to be mindful of when it comes up and to embrace it and thank it, and really to share that connection with nature and with the world around you. So I'm going to invite you now to do a short meditation on joy. And excuse me, I'll just close the door. Let's sit comfortably or lie down if you have the chance to, and you can relax. Put your hands in your lap. Close your eyes. Let's take 5 deep, relaxing breaths into the pit of our stomach. Let's allow the sunroof at the top of our head just to slide open about 1 foot. Feel the warm sun seeping in to your head, moving down into your face, your neck, your shoulders, your heart space. Allow the warm glow of the sun to invade your heart space and your heart, where your joy sits. Feel your joy waking up. Just open yourself. Let the sun and the joy mix together in the warm orange golden light. That's it. We can feel our joy in our heart space. Joy for you might be hearing all the birds that are singing at the moment. spending more time with your family, appreciating your life, appreciating your possessions, seeing moments of joy shared by others. Similar to hope, joy is innate. It's inside you. It's not reliant on other people to make you feel joy. You have it inside your heart space. You can reach down for it. You can foster it. Like a seedling, it can grow and spread and radiate from your body. You can radiate joy to others. You can notice joy, feel joy, express joy, have joy, and give joy. Focusing on joy at this time is a good anchor for you. You can anchor your day in joy. Just take moments to let that warm light flood your heart space and think about what brings you joy. Then you'll feel the joy rise up and radiate outside of your body. Our children can learn a lot about joy from us. If you talk about it, share it, acknowledge it. And when they share it with you, be very quick to thank them for sharing their joy with you. They will want to bring you more joy through their own observations and their feelings. This is how we can truly foster joy in ourselves and others. Just open yourself. Let's take a few more relaxing breaths just to calm ourselves. Feel the warm glow in your heart space and the golden sun mixing with your joy. Thank the joy for being there in your life. Now I invite you to open your eyes. Thank you for joining me today for the Zoom Boom. Thank you for participating in the meditation on joy. I hope you find it beneficial to reflect on joy throughout your day and to reflect on what joy means for you. And you can simply write down your own definition of joy. There's just a little quote that I wrote that I wanted to share with you. Joy shared is not joy halved. Joy shared is joy multiplied. So go out and spread your joy far and wide. Thank you so much for participating in today's Zoom Boom. I'm wishing you a wonderful day. I'm wishing you peace and happiness and joy. And I look forward to seeing you again soon. Thank you. Take care. I'm Krissy Regan. Bye-bye.